There's only two things you need to take stunning photos of your foster dogs and cats at home with your phone. And guess what? We all have them. Woofs and purrs, everyone. Monique Renee here from Silver Paw Studio. On this channel, I give you tips and tricks to photograph your foster and adoptable animals or causes, or your own pets, of course, pro photographer insights, gear information, and more. I want to empower you to tell all of your tales with tails. Today is all about photographing your foster dogs and cats while stuck at home. Of course, you can use this on your own pets and on other species as well. Before we start though, I want to give you some other resources that I've compiled for all of you. Number one is, of course, my pack bulletin. If you go to bit.ly/thepackbulletin, you'll get signed up for my weekly email full of tips, tricks, and inspiration. You'll also be able to download my top 3 tips for pet photography. So I encourage you to use that free resource. Number 2 is my Skillshare classes. Now, if you already have a subscription to Skillshare, I have 2 courses on there. One is Cat Photography 101, and the other is Cell Phone Photography for Pet Lovers. Over on Udemy, I also have the cell phone class for a very low price. Number 3 resource is a free course that is on Skillshare, Fundraising with Photographers. A lot of shelters and rescues and causes struggle with fundraising ideas. So this is meant to be a free resource for all of you to pair up your photography with your favorite cause. Number 4 is, of course, paw that subscribe button right here on YouTube. Every Friday I come out with a new pre-recorded video, and soon I'll be starting a Monday live stream video as well. So be thinking about the questions that you have for me, and I'll have some content to share with you on the live streams as well. Whew, that was a lot of information, but don't worry, the links to everything are in the description below. For the last 5 years, I have traveled every week to Animal Friends Alliance to photograph their adoptable dogs and cats. As you can suspect, I'm not able to do that right now. So what can I offer all of you? Maybe you have a foster animal that needs a little refresh in its photos, but you don't have access to a professional photographer at this time. Today, I'm going to suggest an extremely simple solution for you all. All you need is 2 things. Ready? 1, you need a window, and 2, you need a decluttered background. That's pretty much it. First, we're going to start here in my studio because I have plenty of room to set up all my videography equipment. And we're going to use our trusty stand-in here, Wiggles. Oh, by the way, thanks everybody for your name suggestions. I chose Wiggles for its humor and irony. So we are going to use Wiggles today as our stand-in model while we learn how to do the lighting. From there, we're going to go over to my house and attempt to use these techniques on my little dog, Bailey. First of all, I suggest you do an assessment of the windows available to you in your home. You want as big a window as you can find, and you want to consider what direction that window is facing. So look around your house and figure out what direction the light comes in at. A few suggestions are a sliding glass door, a storm door, a big window. Even if the window's up off the ground, I'm going to give you some ideas for that. So be looking for your biggest window. Obviously, of course, make sure the window is safe. If you're using your storm door on your front of your house, be sure that door latches all the way. There's no screens open that cats could get out of, those kind of things, obviously. So next, I want you to sit with your back to the window. This is the biggest mistake I see people make with their photography, and it makes sense. A lot of times your dog or cat is going to be sitting next to the window and you want to come up and take a picture of them and the window's behind them, and that is not good light. Find a spot that you can have your back to the window and your animal can be in front of you by at least a couple of feet, depending on how wide angle your camera phone has as a lens. Third, we want to declutter the background. All right, so let's move all this stuff and we'll set up at the window. Hey, Wiggles, are you ready? Wiggles is so ready for their close-up. Yeah, good puppy. All right, as you can see, we have the ginormous window behind us. The window at your house is gonna look different. That's okay. These principles should still work. And we have Wiggles, our willing model. And what I wanna do is put Wiggles, let's be realistic, they're gonna wanna be really close. Odds are you have something they want, maybe a treat or a toy, and so they're probably gonna wanna be not any further than that from you anyway. So all I've got is the big window, and that's it. And it's a good time of day. You don't see any really harsh shadows anywhere. All right, so I'm gonna do a screen recording too, so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So let me get that going. Okay, my screen is recording. Just to clarify, I have the Samsung S10. If you saw some of my previous videos, I had the iPhone. Most newer phones in the last couple of years should be great at this. And we're just gonna start with the light from the window, not decluttering the background. So here's the widest angle, but you can see how the background is super cluttered still. Let's see, if I raise my phone up, oh look, now the background is just the carpet. If you had a cool carpet here, that would be awesome. But most of our pictures are taken from this angle. So part of the reason that's so nice to get down here is because we feel like we have that connection with them in their eyes. And you can see how all this huge window is splashing right on the front of Wiggles' face. Good job, Wiggles. Okay, you ready? Ready, Wiggles? Good job, you didn't wiggle at all. So before we work on the backdrop, I want to show you really quick what it's like to have him against the window instead. So let's take a look at that. So let's say your cat or your dog is sitting next to the window and you think, oh, that looks great. But you can probably guess by now that it's going to be all the light on the back of his little head. Oh boy. So Wiggles is pretty much in shadow there. Even if I went really low to try to get the sky, you could tap on the phone and make it brighter or darker. That works, but it's not as great as the other way. Agreed? Okay, so we're gonna turn around and I'm gonna set up a couple things to use as a backdrop instead. First of all, I'm gonna do something super easy. I'm just gonna pull a chair into this room. A nice solid chair works really well. So let's move my gray chair in facing the window, just like I had him on the floor. Let's see if that cuts out the background distractions. I'm gonna swivel the chair a little bit this way so you all can see what I'm doing. Let's see if that helps with the distracting background. Oh ho ho, I think that looks a lot better. Let's do the zoomed in. Of course you can pinch and zoom, you know that. Check that out. Now that's a handsome photo. We've got Puppy is super well lit. Wiggles, you're looking so good. Wiggles is well lit. There's nothing distracting in the background, and even elevating Wiggles has put them right at eye level to us. So even easier, you don't have to scoot so far down on the ground. I think this looks amazing. So there's the chair as an idea. Now let's try draping a blanket or a cloth over a couple of our folding chairs, okay? All right, I wasn't able to find the little fluffy blanket I thought I had here. It's in a cabinet somewhere, so I found a tablecloth. The great thing about using this white tablecloth is it'll help bounce the light as well. So let's put Wiggles in here now. Boop, boop. Good job, Wiggles. And where's my phone? We'll get the phone going. Well, guess what? Not distracting. So you could see there, this is way better than just having the room behind us. So this is really, really great. If this animal is pretty close and you don't you can't stoop over very far, you can always, if you have a little handle or pop socket, flip your phone upside down and take pictures like that. Or say you're sitting in a chair and you just want to lower your hand down. So that'll work too, upside down. Okay, Wiggles, let's go home and see Bay. I've scouted around my house. Right now I'm at my back door, which faces south. We have sun coming and going out of the clouds, but it's far enough west now that I'm not getting too bad of super bright light on Bay. She's looking really good right here. I looked at my front door too, and surprisingly, that looked like pretty good light at the front door as well. And I have a front window. Obviously that doesn't go all the way to the ground, but I could picture a cat tree there or the dog up on that chair that I have and just move the chair so that light was straight on her. So those are options in my house. So we're gonna try this in this spot so you could see. So I haven't put a backdrop up. This is just kind of goes off into the rest of the house. And I'm gonna sit against the window here. Okay, I'll be sitting here with the window light totally on her and she's really looking at this. So let me turn on my screen recording program app and we'll get us all going. Okay, she's laying in a really great spot. Good girl. Good job. So you can see how awesome this light is on her face. If we did a wider shot, still looks good. A tighter image, doesn't that look great on her? Really does look super good. Are you a good girl? Yeah, oh, such a good girl. Very good. We got a head tilt, everyone. All right, you can be paid now. Awesome. All right, so those look super good with the lighting, but the background's still distracting. Now, could I just change the angle and photograph her from up above and just have the carpet behind her? So let's take a look at that. I like to photograph way down here, but you can see I have a bright window in the background. I left my camera bag over there. There's a bright spot on the door. It's pretty distracting. Now, I can change the angle of the camera. Hi. Are you a good girl? And then you can see I have all carpet behind me, but that's kind of the look we get every time we photograph animals, isn't it? So I would rather have straight on. So let's set up a couple of things here in the room and see how she does. Here's your stuff. All right, let's move in a chair. I have a gray chair here. That's very plain. And I think you'll be able to see her okay here. Up, babe. Good job. Oh, we got paper on here. Very good, very good. Sit. When we go to take a picture with this plain gray backdrop. Good job, very good. Let's zoom in on just her face. So now you can see, get a focus on her face, I tapped there. We have just the gray backdrop. Now this doesn't give us a lot of room to move in, as you can see, but it's cute. I can move the camera up, boop. I can move the camera down. You got a little pause up here. If I really wanted to get low, I could do this, but you could kind of do that anywhere. Good girl. She's like, where's my payment? So you can see I have, the window in the background, and I still have some things, but when I zoom in, all I've got is the gray. Hi. Make sure you tap on their face. Huh? What? Are you a good girl? Yeah. Good job, very good. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these two chairs, turn them around and drape a blanket over the back of it and see what we think of that look to minimize distractions in the background and give us maybe just a little bit more room to work with. What do you think, Bae? Yeah, let's try that. Oh, look how different that looks. Actually, I can get her whole body. I love how nice and low this is. Let's do a zoomed in one. Make sure you focus on her little face. That looks super good, everybody. Here you go. Oh, good girl, you did it. Now I can still move the phone up and down if I want to. I can turn the phone over if maybe I'm sitting on a chair here for whatever reason and I need a little bit lower view. All right, so that's what it looks like when we have the blanket over the back of two chairs and a model sitting right in the middle. So I think Bailey did pretty good. I didn't overdo the treats, but you definitely could do more. There's all kinds of things you can do with just these two things. We have our window with indirect light and a blanket. That's all you need, right, Bay? Well, what did you think of the little mini session we did of Bailey at home? Did it work out how you thought it might? Now remember, you want to find as large a window as you can. You want to have your back to it and you want to unclutter the background. Whether that's moving a piece of furniture, hanging up a blanket, bonus tip, you could even put a piece of cardstock or paper behind a smaller animal. I do hope you found this video helpful. Did you have any challenges or victories after learning this and applying it? Go ahead and type them in the comments. We would all like to know. In upcoming videos, I'm going to give you some ideas on taking a variety of different images, doing DIY backdrops and props, ideas for unusual apps that you can use for your pets or your foster or adoptable animals right from your home, editing, and more. You'll probably find this playlist very informative as well if you want to dive more into pet photography either with your big camera or with your phone. Remember to check out the links in the description for even more resources. As always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATS's.